Good day children, Sai Ram and welcome back to our revision session. Here we are going to start with chapter number 3, Exogenetic Processes Part 1. In the previous chapter we have already revised about the endogenetic movement. Here we are going to start exogenetic process. What is the word exogenetic means over here? External processes. External processes only called as exogenetic processes. Okay, so let's learn. External processes occur due to the various forces which are acting on the Earth's surface, like the solar energy, the kinetic energy, the gravitational force. These are the various forces which are acting over the Earth's surface, and this is causing external processes on the Earth's surface. Here is a do you know part wherein landforms formed on the Earth's surface as a result of internal movements. In the previous lesson, we have learned about the internal movements. Whatever landforms are formed because of the internal movements, they are called as primary and secondary landforms. Like for example, continents, mountains, plateaus, plains, all these are called as primary and secondary landforms. While if you see the external processes, because of the external processes like weathering, transportation, deposition, erosion, okay, the primary and the secondary landforms which are there, they give way to the tertiary landforms, to a third type of landform, that is tertiary landform. For example, you can have V-shaped valleys, U-shaped valleys, dunes, deltas. Okay, these are the various landforms, that is the tertiary landforms. Okay, and this happens just because of the external processes. If you have seen in your surrounding, children, you will find such type of rocks. It looks as if the rock is rusted over here. Okay, then you can see the rock over here, it is broken into two pieces, and from the middle of these two pieces a tree is coming out. Okay, then if you can see over here, a statue is deformed. Okay, then you can see over here the rock is having a network over here. Okay, that is just because of the weathering. Okay, we'll learn about it in detail. Then you can see over here a rock as if it is peeled off. Okay, layer by layer, how it is peeled off, how an onion is peeled off, in that way this rock is looking like. Okay, so now looking at all these rocks, let's learn what is this weathering actually. Breaking or the weakening up of the rocks, okay, which is a natural process naturally. Okay, and that is only called as weathering. What is weathering? Breaking or weakening of rocks, which is a natural phenomenon, is called as weathering. And weathering is of three types: mechanical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. So here we are going to learn about these three types of weathering. Mechanical weathering mainly is more dominant in arid climates. Okay, that is in desert areas. While if you see the chemical weathering, it is more prominent in humid climate. Okay, where the climate is humid, wet, there only chemical weathering is more effective. While biological weathering occurs mainly because of the living organism. So these are the three types of weathering, okay, having their own characteristic. Okay, let's learn about them in detail. Okay, so firstly we'll start with the mechanical weathering. As you all know, we have seen in the previous lecture of this lesson, I had shown you an experiment about an onion, how the onion is peeled layer by layer. Similarly, the rocks which are there in the environment, they are peeled off like this only. We have seen one picture also. I shown you one photograph of the rock as if it is peeled off layer by layer. Okay, same way the rocks which are in the open, they are also undergoing such processes as a onion undergoes. Okay, the exposed part of the rock heats more. Okay, that means the top part of the rock is always heated more than the inner part. Okay, the inner part remains cooler, but the outer part of the rocks become more heated up, that is hotter. As a result, what happens? The outer layer of the main rocks start falling off. Okay, because of the heating, what happens? The outer layer of the rock, it starts falling apart from the main rock. Okay, as we take out layer by layer the onion peels, that way only the rocks also starts peeling off. And this process is called as exfoliation of the rock. Okay, so here is your definition. What is exfoliation of the rock? The outer layer of the main rocks fall apart from the main rock. That is called as exfoliation of the rock. Okay, children, so here is your definition. You can see over here how layer by layer the rock is peeled off. Now, what are the reasons for this mechanical weathering? What makes what is the reason why this mechanical weathering takes place? Temperature is the reason, frost, crystal growth, release of pressure, water, all these are the various reasons because of which the mechanical weathering takes place. Let's learn in detail about these reasons. Firstly, we'll talk is about the temperature. Now, what happens because of the temperature? The minerals that are present in the rocks, okay, they expand because of the heat and contract because of the low temperature. This continuously contracting and expanding of these rocks, okay, because of this what happens? Cracks are developed, a tension is created in the rock. Okay, and as you all know, different minerals react differently to temperature. Some of the minerals expand while some of the minerals contracts. Just because of this expansion and contraction, what happens? The cracks are developed on the rock. Okay, and weathering takes place. Okay, and such type of weathering mainly takes place in the hot desert. So this is how temperature plays a very important role in the weathering of the rocks. Let's see the frost. Now, as you all know, volume of water increases on freezing. Okay, for example, when you all are keeping the water in the refrigerator, that time you must have seen. First, water, when it is water, the volume is less. Okay, when it is turning into ice, the volume is increasing. Okay, same here, what happens when the temperature falls below 0 degrees Celsius? The water which is accumulated in the cracks due to the rainy season and all, what happens? The water gets collected in the cracks and crevices of the rocks. Now this water which is there, it starts freezing, and just because of the freezing, what happens? Its volume increases, and because of the volume that is increasing, this leads to a tension in the rock. Okay, and they start shattering or they fall apart. So this is how frost leads to weathering. Next is, you can see over here the picture how the rock is broken into pieces just because of this type of weathering, that is frost. Next is crystal growth. Now this is the weathering which take place mainly near the seaside. Okay, near the seaside you all must have seen big rocks are there. In this rocky coast, what happens? The waves come and hit the sea cliff again and again. And because of this, the alkaline water which is there of the sea, that dissolves the minerals in the rock. Whatever minerals are present in the rock is dissolved because of this alkaline water. Okay, dissolves the mineral in the rock, creating small holes in it. And when this water gets evaporated, now these holes are formed and the water is in the holes. So what happened? When the water is evaporated from the holes, only the crystals of alkaline are remaining in the rock. Now these crystals of alkaline, they are very much occupying more space. Okay, they occupy more space, and because of this crystal alkaline, what happens? A tension is created in the rock, and holes are formed in the rock which looks like as if a honeycomb. Okay, so the rock start looking like a honeycomb. You can see the picture over here how the rock is looking like a honeycomb. Next is release of pressure. At times what happens? The outer layers of the rocks, they exert. We always think that the water, the temperature, this only plays a very important role in the weathering. But no, even the rock itself plays a very important role in the part of weathering. Here is one example. The outer layer of the rocks exert pressure on the inner layers. Okay, and when this pressure is becoming too much, that time the inner layers, they let out the pressure. Okay, what happens? They let out the pressure, and because of this, it leads to weathering. When this pressure ceases to exist, the lower or inner layers get freed from the pressure, leading to weathering. So the rock itself is the main cause of weathering. That is called as release of pressure. Next is water. Such type of weathering mainly takes place in places where heavy rainfalls are there. Okay, because of the heavy rainfall, what happens? The rocks get soaked up again and again. They are already almost fully soaked up in water. Soaking of rocks in more rainfall areas causes weathering of the rocks like sandstones, conglomerate. I had told you about this word conglomerate. What is conglomerate? Combining. Okay, conglomerate over here is combining. I had told you about this reason. What is conglomerate? Combining of the various materials together form the rocks. That is called as conglomerate. Now these rocks which are there formed of pressure on the agglomeration of sand particles. Okay, these rocks are formed of pressure on the agglomeration of sand particles. What is the meaning of agglomeration? I had told you first also. That is collection of things. Okay, now when such things happen, what happens? When water penetrates, when rainfall is taking place, okay, the water penetrates in the particles and the particles become loose and they separate from the main rock, and that's small particles which are separated, they are called as granular weathering. Okay, you can see over here the picture of granular weathering. Okay, water and temperature. Even water and temperature together can form weathering. Difference in temperature, you all must be knowing the contraction and expansion taking place because of the temperature, and water that gets accumulated in the big rocks and all. Okay, at times in big rocks the water gets accumulated, and just because of this contraction and expansion of the rocks, what happens? The big blocks of rocks get separated from each other, and such type of weathering is called as block disintegration. What it is called as? Block disintegration. You can see over here this big rocks are separated from each other. This shows block disintegration. Okay children, I hope you all have understood till here the types of mechanical weathering. That's all for today. The remaining part of the revision of this lesson we'll do in the next lecture. Till then, thank you children.